What's going on, everybody? Mike here, baseball collector, and it's Thursday. And the first thing I want to do today is give a special thanks to Dave, Blue Jacket 66, for being on with me last night, talking about, kind of what's going on in the hobby and everything. After an hour of talking about it, and he and I had even talked about it before, I've talked about it with Eric, those back pages, some other people, about kind of what's going on. I don't know that we came up with any solutions. I know I'm not going to fix the problem. I'm, just a guy, just a collector, buying cards, buying slabs. But I think their lesson to be learned there is A, to kind of know about it and be aware of it. It shouldn't scare you or make you afraid. You just need to be a more informed consumer as you're out there looking for stuff to add to your collection. Just be aware of what's going on. And, I was thinking about the whole thing. I was talking to some people after the live stream, which was great, by the way. Thanks for everybody for coming on and participating. It was great. I don't know that I've ever had that many people on a live stream before. I think at the max there were 72 people on, which is awesome. Obviously, it's a topic a lot of you care about, and you should care about it. But I was thinking about, with modern cards, it's an incredible, let's take modern chrome, refractors or just chrome cards. It's a very, very common practice for guys to either take off scratches, buff out scratches, basically take Windex and take off fingerprints and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, how is that really any different than pressing down a corner or, taking a corner and bending it back to where it's not bent up anymore? I don't know. I'm not saying I'm being some judgmental dude here. I don't know. I just think that you can't just say one thing's okay and one's not. Is it okay to pull scratches off of a chrome or a refractor card? If you're a purist, the answer would be no. The card got scratched and therefore has to stay scratched forever. And I don't know that I buy that or believe that or feel that way. I think that people do that and they're improving the card or taking the card back to its original condition. I don't know. I'm not trying to, solve the problem here or say I have some definitive answer on it, but everybody's going to have their own opinion, and it's just a great topic for discussion. And I really enjoyed it. And so thank you, Dave, for that. Thank you to everybody that came on. So that didn't stop me from buying any slabs, I'll tell you that much, because I got 20 right here. 16 that I got yesterday, 4 that I got today. That is really what this video is about and really what I'm going to show you guys and go through it. A bunch of 80s stuff. It'll be fun. A little bit of older stuff, but not a ton. Just a whole lot of 1984 tops. So here we go. All right, here we go with 20 slabs. Let's get this rolling and rolling right. The first 16 of them are all from 84 tops. I bought them all from the same seller on eBay. And a bunch of them are sideways like this, so I'm going to have to hold them. But this first one is the Strikeout Leaders, which has 2 Hall of Famers now. Steve Carlton, longtime Hall of Famer, and Jack Morris, relatively new Hall of Famer, as the Strikeout Leaders. I loved 84 tops growing up. I mean, it was right in my prime years of early collecting. There is the Mike Schmidt All-Star. What's up, Ray? And Mike O. and Ed Wesker. So many Philly guys. But love Mike Schmidt. I love the All-Star design in 84. It's hard. I like a lot of the All-Star designs. I just think that was such a cool card to get. I always thought, oh man, I'm getting a really good player because they're obviously good. They're an All-Star. So that always meant more to me growing up. That's a 9 too. Pretty good. And I paid for these 16 84 tops cards, I paid an average of about $6 for them. So I got them really cheap. They're part of my 3-decade set. And there's the Dawson All-Star card. You're going to see a theme here because I got quite a few All-Star cards. There's the lefty, Steve Carlton, in a 9. The Dawson was an 8. So the grades will vary slightly. You got, who's that, Carlton. There's the Winfield. I love that little sound, the little click when your slab hits my stand. It's just kind of fun. The Winfield, Yankees All-Star, mint 9. There is the base card for Pudge, the original Pudge, Carlton Fisk, in a mint 9. And next up, I have 6 or 8 of these things. There were a special subset, and I'll show the first one to you, and it'll start making sense. The special subset of kind of career leaders in different statistical categories. And what's interesting is they did an NL1 and an AL1, and I think they did that mainly to just get different players to be shown. Now, this is an interesting 9. If you notice, this is really cross-cut. The right side, it's cross-cut top left to bottom right, and still got a 9. So that shows you how subjective card grading can be. Still a very pretty card. Mike Schmidt, Tony Perez, Hall of Famers, great player Dave Kingman for the Mets. And what it shows on the back is, let me turn this one over because it's a home run one, so that's kind of nice. So on the back you've got, hopefully you can read this, you got Mike Schmidt, Tony, you got the leaders there listed, and it's, if they have an asterisk next to their name, like Tony Perez does, played both in the NL and the AL. So it's not really home runs they hit in the National League, it's the home run leaders, active home run leaders, if they happen to be in the National League in 1983. And then you got the Major League career leaders over on the right. Back then it was Aaron, Ruth, Mays. I could list them all back in the day because it didn't change a lot. There was nobody coming up, until recently. The top 10, top 15 kind of stayed the same for a really long time. So there is, again, the NL active career home run leaders. You've got the National League active career stolen base leaders. Joe Morgan, Hall of Famer. God, the Phillies were stacked back then. Schmidt, Rose, Carlton, Morgan, Perez. Good grief. There is active career ERA leaders. You got Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton. What's cool about this one on the back, I'll show it to you because I thought it was interesting. If you look over on the career leaders over on the right, like Tom Seaver was number 3. I don't think a lot of people appreciate how amazing of a career Tom Seaver had. He was pretty darn awesome. Here are the career active save leaders with Bruce Sutter. Saves weren't as big a deal back then. He only had 215. Guys get that now in a few seasons. Here is the career hit leaders, Rod Carew and Reggie Jackson. Carew ultimately got over 3,000 hits. Got the career victory leaders in the American League with Jim Palmer, Don Sutton, and Mr. Surgery himself, Tommy John. That's a mint 9 on that one. I think most of these are 8s and 9s. There's the career strikeout leaders. Don Sutton, Bert Blyleven, and Jerry Koosman. So what's interesting is Nolan Ryan's not on there because he's on the NL one, even though he had pitched a lot in the American League, right? So there's the career ERA leaders for the American League. You've got Raleigh Fingers and Jim Palmer. And Ron Guidry. Back to some regular sized cards, or regular facing cards, I should say. There's Hall of Fame manager Dick Williams. 84, I think, was the year the Padres actually, did they go to the World Series against the Tigers, maybe? So, Dick Williams there. There is the great Dennis Eckersley in a mint 9 for the Red Sox. Beautiful card. So that's it for the 84s. Now we got a few more. Here's a 82 Tops in Action, Tom Seaver, and a mint 9. Nice card there. Got another league leader card here. This is the runs batted in leaders from 78 on the 79 Tops. Jim Rice, who was just a beast in the late 70s, early 80s for the Red Sox. A lot of people don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I am not one of those. George Foster had a great career too. I think he hit 50 home runs in a season too. Won an MVP. Just a great player as well. There you go. 79 tops. 2 more cards total, by the way, just if you're keeping count. There's a Tom Seaver and 79 tops and a near mint or just near mint 7. Good card with the Reds. And my last card today is a great one. I tell you, the more and more I learn about Yogi Berra, the more and more I become a fan of his, and just what an amazing ball player he was, and very versatile. He was a catcher, obviously, for most of his career, but spent a lot of his latter years playing outfield and even some first base. So there he is with the Yankees. Last year card, I think, with the Yankees. I think 63 tops, he was on the Mets. So, because I think I have that card. But this is an excellent mint 6. This card definitely has issues. It's very pretty in terms of the picture and the color, but you've got, a little ding on that side there. The corners they're far from perfect. Centering is far from perfect. And that's what you kind of get with a mid-grade card here. More than happy to have this. It's still it cost me $50 to get this card, so it's not cheap. All the Yogi Berra stuff is surprisingly expensive. So just happy to get it on the Yogi Berra Last Yankees card. Oh, I'll leave that there because I'm done. That's it. That's all I got. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you guys soon. Hopefully, I'm going to get a few more things this weekend and do some more video shooting. And we'll talk to y'all later. Keep collecting.